Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
What a day, what a day, what a day. Good morning, beautiful people. It is a facility. Congratulations, you woke up this morning. So good to see y'all, so good to be seen. Y'all could be watching any show. You are hanging out with us. We don't take it for granted. Hope your week is starting off fabulous. It's Monday, Rick Bucher. It is Monday.
It is.
It is, in fact. Hey, wherever you're eating your Eggo waffles, your Frosted Flakes, your Captain Crunch, your Cheerios, whatever it is. What, Shady?
I mean, that's how they eat.
Yeah.
I'm coming through with that turkey bacon, you know what I mean? That vegan pancakes. Yeah, with a little vegan orange juice. Yeah, and real quick,
with a little donut on the side.
Happy Father's Day to the real fathers out there. That's right. Any man could have a kid and be a father, but that don't really make you a father. Don't let that go over your head. Any man could be a father. But not anybody can just be a father.
Let
that go over your head.
That one didn't go over my head.
Any man could be a dad.
Yeah.
But it takes a special one to be a father. I don't know, Jay. You don't know?
I think
I'm
that's what he
a
was trying to
father
say.
and a daddy.
Okay.
If you know what I'm saying.
Hopefully you have
know
no
what you're
idea
saying.
what Shady is saying for your sake. That's James Jones on the far end. This is Rick Bucher, NBA analyst, in with us today. To my right, LaShawn Shady McCoy needs no introduction. It's daddy, not after. Hey, the Thunder, they sunned the Pacers on Friday night. Took care of business. Series is tied up now, 2-2. We got to talk about it. That's the hottest topic in sports right now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander put on a show, 35 points. J-Dub, the man also known as Jalen Williams, 27 points. And now the series is tied. Game 5, it is tonight. Tyrese Halliburton after the loss and SGA both spoke up.
2 wins and you get the job done, and that's what I felt like I was focused on in the Denver series, and we were able to do so, and same thing for this series.
Game 4 didn't end the way we wanted it to, but the biggest thing is you can't let one spiral into 2. You know, you can't take the disappointment of that game and let it be a snowball effect. You know, it's you got to be ready to go for Game 5 here again, a hostile environment, and you know we're both 2 games away. You know, so anything can happen from here.
An absolutely thrilling series.
Yeah.
Like this series is more than anyone could have asked for. Several people thought it would go 4, some thought it would go 5. It's already looking like it's gonna go 6. It has to go 6.
Yeah.
This is a phenomenal series, and I love what Halliburton said. Essentially, he said what many of us say in football: don't let one play beat you twice. Don't let one loss beat you twice. Shady, the Thunder, they tied it up. You've had your confidence on the Thunder the entirety of this series. Who are you more confident in now, though, obviously?
Now. I ain't changed. I've been the same. When they lost Game 1, I said the Thunder's a better team. They're going to win this thing out. When they lost Game 3,
Yep.
I say, yo, don't trip. Don't worry about it. The Thunder going to win this thing. They're a better team. They're going to figure it out. And then now we at Game 5, and I'm saying the same thing, same song. The Thunder, they're a better team. And Game 4 was a prime example of what I was talking about forever. You got pros and you got college. If you look at the way the the way the Pacers have been winning, it's been a college format, right? Team effort, everybody pitches in, right? No real superstar that's really driving the bus. We all kind of taking turns driving the bus. We all taking turns eating each other's lunch. Look at the Thunder side. You got one big dog. You got a smaller big dog that's carrying it too in Jay Will. Yeah. If you watch Game 4, who was the closer for the Pacers? You get a shot. You get a shot. I get a shot. There was no closer. Yeah. You go to the other side. SGA, MVP, showed up. Yo, we down. Who gonna score for us? I'm gonna shoot the 3 ball. I'm gonna go there and get the layups. I'm gonna go get the fouls. And I'm gonna end the game. That's when you have the superstar player, and it's not the college format. Yeah. Look at this. Rise up. Give me mines. And now when you get in the clutch moments, because I feel like, you know, as a team, you can get you to the last possessions or 2, right? You can get you there. 4th quarter, maybe you got a 5-point lead. You can get you there. But who's gonna close the game out? The Pacers had nobody to close the game out, and that's why they lost. Look at the other side of the Thunder, they did. So, Slick, I owe you dinner, but don't get too full. You owe me dinner.
Yeah.
Hey,
Don't get too full.
Don't get too
I'm
full.
so torn on this series. I'm going to say I'm more confident in the Pacers because I'm more confident in Carlisle. That's what I'm going to say. The reason the Thunder won that game, on the surface, it appears that it was won because of Shea. But in reality, that game was won because of Daigneault, the coach of the Thunder. Because he had the wherewithal to suggest, hey, if I rest Shea more in the first half, Shea's going to have some energy to play down the stretch. You realize SGA, the MVP, had 15 of his team's 16 final points. SGA, the MVP, scored 15 points in the final 4 minutes, 38 seconds of the game, when he scored 20 points in totality the previous 43 minutes of the game. So, yes, SGA is the face of that team, and he is the face of that ball game, but that game wasn't necessarily won because of the face. It was won because of the mind and Daigneault controlling that game. I do not think Rick Carlisle will get out-coached more times than not in the final 3 games of the series. I just fervently refuse to believe that. And watching the game, I'm texting Shady, I'm texting James, I'm texting Rick, because I was like, yo, are they attacking SGA on the defensive end? And to everybody kind of agree, like, yeah, to some degree they are. Because SJ has to realize conserve his energy on defense so that he can execute on offense. But when I'm watching that game, I realize this isn't a coincidence the series is tied up. The Pacers are a really good team that plays really good defense. Nembhard, phenomenal defense. Neesmith now has so much film on the opponent that he's overly anticipating Chet Holmgren's moves. Thus, he's drawing fouls because he's beating Chet to the spot that Chet's trying to get to. He's just a little too aggressive when he gets there. So I'm more confident in the Pacers, not because of the players. I'm more confident in the Pacers because of their head coach. Truly, I believe this game is a coin flip. I mean, the Pacers had a 10-point lead with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter of that game. Nobody would have thought the team that dominates fourth quarters would have lost that game, except for Daigneault conserving energy for SGA, allowing the MVP to do what MVP does and close that game. I don't think there is a wrong answer. I'm going to suggest it is the Pacers because of their head coach.
Yeah. And I am going to go. You guys make great points in terms of setting up where this series is being decided. I'm going with the Thunder simply because the Pacers gave away everything that they earned in games 1 and 3. They gained the home court advantage and the psychological edge in game 1, like proving, you know what, if it's a close game,
Yeah.
we're the better team. Yep. And we're going to take home court advantage away from you. And then they amplified that in game 3 in the way that they won. And then they gave it all back in game 4. Oh, it would have been better if they'd gotten blown out, because they could at least say, if we keep it close, we're the better team. They gave that away. And to your point, like Mark Daigneault closed the difference in coaching in this.
Absolutely.
Do you know that this was the first game in the series that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander didn't play all 12 minutes in the first quarter? He played a very conservative 7.5 minutes. And then getting to the free throw line gave him rest. The one thing I'm going to push back on with Shady is, and this is why Carlisle is important, I do believe that they have a closer. But it's not necessarily Tyrese Halliburton. It can be Pascal Siakam. Or it's whoever you decide, Carlisle decides, but he picks the right one. Pascal Siakam had 1 shot in the fourth quarter. 1 shot. Like, you can't not go to him because in many cases, he's the one guy who can get to a spot and get a shot. And they didn't go to that. So ultimately, now that it's even, and now that everything is shifted back to the Thunder's favor, like if it's even going into the series, I said, I think the Pacers can make this an interesting series, but I don't know that they can win it. And then they win game 1 and they win game 3, and I'm like, they've given themselves the edge. And what they did was, in game 4, they didn't realize, like, we got to maintain that edge. They gave it all back. And now it being an even series again, my feelings shift back to the Thunder.
Oh, well, come on. Hey, look, we got seats for you now.
Yeah.
I stayed the same. But for you, hey, we got seats. You want to come over now?
Only for Slick.
You know what I mean? If you want to come over, we got room for
Hey,
you,
you
dog.
did come to the dark side, man.
Hey, James, welcome him kindly. Welcome him. Open arms.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Doors open. You ain't got to ring the doorbell.
Second for better.
Yeah, you ain't got to ring the doorbell.
about it, James.
Doors open. I said this was going to be a gentleman's sweep. The Pacers surprised me. They did, by the way they playing. Even in game 4, they had me. I was sitting there sweating for a minute like they about to go up 3-1 until Shai got the ball and closed the game. But more confidence in the Thunder.
Easy.
I don't see a way they get a game in OKC. And at this point, you got to get you one there. They are 9-2 at home, and 2 of those losses, they was beating the other team down and just laid an egg the last 4-5 minutes of the game. It ain't like a team came in their home court and said, we smacking you, take this L. It's not. So I don't know how the Pacers can come into OKC and win a game. And, Slick, I think Rick Carlisle did think they had a closer. And in that fourth quarter, with 3 minutes left in the game, the ball was in Halliburton's hands every time down the court to make a play. And he didn't. So I don't know how you just go from, hey, all right, we gave you a chance to close, now we're going to give Siakam a chance to close the next game. When I watched that game and it got close, OKC knew where the ball was going. Yeah. And it didn't mean that Shea was going to just shoot the ball and throw it up there crazy. You're going to make the right play, whether it be your mid-range, whether it be finding the open guy to make the shot. The Pacers didn't have an answer for that late in the stretch when things got hard because OKC's defense turned up too, because Shea was guarding too.
Yes, he was.
They wasn't worried about shying away from nothing. Switch. I got him. You know what I'm saying? And the defense amped up too. And once that amped up, it was hard for them to get a shot. And it wasn't a guy that they just said, man, listen, he owned you. We got the switch. Right. You got to go. It wasn't a guy to take over the game. And Shea did.
I think the problem, though, for me in hearing a lot of dialogue in the series, especially from you, Jay, is that, like, if the Pacers do exactly what the Thunder do, you don't look at it with the same glasses. For whatever reason, and I think it's because what I mean is this. Halliburton is not Shea. We've established that. Right. But Halliburton did have 8, if not 9, of his 18 points in the fourth quarter. Up until 2 minutes and 38 seconds, Halliburton hits a 3 that extends the Pacers' lead 103-99. Shea backdoors, he hits a 3. Remember, J-Dub kicks a 3. Boom. Yes. So it's not as though Halliburton disappeared in the fourth quarter. It's more so just that Shea, shout out to him, was the MVP, had 15 of his team's last 16. When I'm watching that game, you say, I don't see how the Thunder lose another game at home. They were dominating that game and blew a lead. That's exactly what the Pacers did last night. On Friday night. The Pacers were dominating that game, had a 12-point lead, if I'm not mistaken. The end of the third quarter, the Pacers could have eviscerated the Thunder. At the end of the third, they could have eviscerated the Thunder. Man. They don't. J-Dub hits a great bucket at the end of the third. Pacers still have a 10-point lead with 9 minutes left in the fourth, and the Thunder make that lead evaporate. So what the Thunder do to the Pacers do to the Thunder, even in this series. Halliburton has been a great closer. Shea's been a great closer. Halliburton has 9 in the fourth. Shea has 15 in the fourth. I just think we keep looking at it with a bias.
Halliburton has hit a couple shots.
Yes.
Right. Shea has been the closer in these games. Give me the basketball and I will take you there. Yep. He has hit a couple shots. Where was everybody at with 3 minutes left in the game, Acho? I understand the whole fourth quarter. Where was 3 minutes left in the game to where we make a shot, it's your ball.
Yep.
They ain't do nothing. We make a shot, it's your ball. They didn't have a guy when it was 3 minutes left to go get it. They didn't.
But they haven't had a guy this entire series.
And
that's the problem I'm telling you about.
But it hasn't been. But it wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
It wasn't a problem.
It wasn't a problem game 1, and it wasn't a problem game 3.
That's serious, fellas. I think that's serious. It's a serious. Okay, so I'll give you this real quick. And it's the first one of the 4 wins in this series, correct? Okay, so if the Thunder win these last 2 games and they win 4-2, we're gonna say Pacers played hard, but the better team won, right? As you look at this, you want to give Halliburton his credit.
I'm trying to.
And he gets it. Yeah. And you want to give the Pacers the credit because they playing hard. I'm cool with all that. But when I kept talking about the whole time where they don't have a legit bona fide superstar guy I'm going to every time. Yep. You want to make it Siakam. You want to make it Halliburton. We know who it is for OKC. Yeah. And then you talk about having some good moments for fourth quarter. I'm cool with that. Halliburton made some good shots. Cool with that. SG had 35 points.
You did.
15 of them points came in the fourth quarter. Well, we must have it.
Yeah.
You want to give it to the head coach about resting? I don't care about no rest because you got to go out there and play. Cool. We resting. I'm not fatigued. Cool.
That makes a difference.
I hear all that. But I got to put the ball in the basket. That's the real difference.
Right.
And when you watch SGA that night, right, I'm shooting mid-range jumpers, but also we need a 3-ball, and I'm going to give you that. And then after that, in the 3 minutes, he took over it.
Understood.
And then another thing is, once you play in the game and you know this guy's a closer, because not only does the OKC know he's a closer, the other team knows it too. The other coach knows it too. And as you watch it, it's like, I don't know if it's an athlete's thing, but in your head, you're like, here it goes. And there it went. And he took over the game and they won it. So it's just like, and I don't want to beat on the Pacers because they are a really good team and they're playing really good. But sometimes we can't depend on this group effort project. You need somebody super smart to get this job done for the project. And that's who the hell SGA is.
But the same thing that blessed the Thunder has cursed the Thunder.
Okay.
4 games this season.
There we go.
It's not that Shady is wrong. It's just you too confident. Because through 4 games, what blessed the Thunder at the end of Game 4, SGA's ability to close, cursed him at the end of Game 3 because SGA was too fatigued to close. What blessed the Thunder at the end of Game 4, SGA being the one guy to go get a bucket, cursed him at the end of Game 1 because SGA had to be the guy to get the bucket and he fell short. The Thunder, what the Pacers, what cursed him in Game 4, they didn't have a closer. It blessed him at the end of Game 1 because then Turner hits a shot, followed by Naismith hits a shot, followed by Nembhard, Cook, Shea hits a shot, followed by Halliburton hits the game winner. So what I can't do, Shady, is after watching 4 games, it's been dead even. You've been right half the time, you've been wrong half the time. Pacers been right half the time.
Who's more blessed?
Pacers been wrong.
Who's more blessed right now today?
2-2. It's
Time out.
2-2.
Whoa, it's not 2-2.
What you mean?
It's not.
It is 2-2.
It's 2-2.
It's 2-2, and we going back home.
Okay.
Who has the advantage right here? We ain't the same.
Hold
we
on,
the same.
hold
Hold on. Are we the same? Hold on, bro, before y'all Pacers people go. Are we the same right now? Is it the same right now?
You had the same advantage going into the series.
I'm asking you a question,
and who
Slick.
won Game 1?
I'm asking you a question. Right now, today, because he's talking about blessings, and I love my God. Who is more blessed today, right now?
Okay, so he's more blessed going back
That's
to the
you.
house, 2-2.
Come on, fellas. Who more blessed
They're going back to the household home court.
Both teams are split at home court.
I know,
So isn't it,
God.
hold on. Like, we're all intelligent here.
Yeah.
If both teams are split at home court, there is no, in this series, there is no home court advantage. There's a 50% chance you win at home and a 50% chance you lose at home. The series is currently tied 2-2. Thus far, there's no home court.
So would you rather, hold on.
They got it back.
That's what I'm saying.
Would you rather play on the road at 2-2 or be at home at 2-2?
Of course I'd rather be at home.
Okay, because we're intelligent. So let's be intelligent. You're talking, right? Okay, so what do you want to be?
I'd rather be the Thunder.
Okay, so as I asked you today on this Monday after Father's Day weekend, who is more blessed?
OKC.
OKC. And you know what's crazy? Even though they lost Game 1 this whole time, because everybody believes in Vegas. Everybody believes in Vegas.
We got teased next.
They've always been favored.
They have.
They've always been favored.
They have.
I'm good,
Correct, dog.
Real quick, though,
good with leaning Thunder.
Real quick before we
but
leave.
you're like making this over.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
you're
where I
saying
have this.
Oh, you think it's still a shot?
I can't
But really
go
quick,
so
though.
far as to say it's over.
Slick, why did you flip? Because when you bet Shady last show before we
that's-
went to Father, well, no, I'm saying, like, what made you flip? Because you're saying Pacers got coaching better.
I'll tell you exactly why. Because that Game 4 went exactly as I expected it to happen. Exactly. Until we got to the last 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Yeah. And then it wasn't just that the Thunder and SGA got it done. It was that the Pacers came apart in the final minutes. And they had not done that in this series. However you want to look at it, they had not done that in this series, and they had not done that in this playoffs. And it wasn't because it was our go-to guy versus your go-to guy. It was Carlisle and that offense was finding the right guy on every possession to get a bucket. And they didn't do that at the offensive end, and they didn't do it at the defensive end. And if you were going to ask me if we were going to get to a place in the game where it's who can execute best in the last 2 minutes, and as much as they have that go-to guy, it wasn't enough for them to win 2 out of the 3 games prior in that series. So I'm just going at how it worked. We said it. Look, we've never seen a team win the way that the Pacers are winning. And yet they had won 2 out of 3. So I'm willing to say I've never seen a Steph Curry or a three-point shooting team win a championship before, but now I did. So I can't ignore that maybe things are changing in the NBA and how you win.
I'll just say one thing before we go to break, right? They haven't won anything yet. Because you're talking like they won something, right? They haven't won anything yet. And number 2 is
2 out of 3 games.
Well, they haven't won a championship this way. I haven't seen no champions win like this with this group effort. I'll just last thing real quick.
You're right.
If you had to pick, would you rather the police and people in the community like make everything safer for the civilians in the world, or would you rather have Superman come save us?
Hey, let's head into the panic room for a moment, right? Because we got to decide how panicked should we be about certain teams. We're going to look starting at the NFC North. Obviously, you all know with the knowledge. The red means we're extremely panicked. The yellow means slightly concerned. And the Oh, so you already breaking stuff. That's
stuff
why you can't bring anything.
I just want to see how fast I can.
All right. This is not Family Feud, Shady, but go ahead. Hey, let's start with the Lions. They won the division last year, but as you all know, they lost their offensive coordinator. They lost their defensive coordinator. Aiden Hutchinson, he's returning from an injury, did not come out of the back half of the season. Shady, how panicked? Why do you keep touching the objects on the desk?
No, I got to make sure because I want to be fair.
It's not a race. Shady, what's your level of panic for the Lions?
Zero panic.
Zero. Yeah, they're a good team. Good team. Coached very well. Good quarterback. Right, got a lot of talent over there.
Yeah.
They only went far last year, but I think they go farther than this year.
James Jones, where you at?
All pro, after all pro,
Yep.
after all pro, after all pro on their team. I'm gonna hit that as well. No panic. And they the champs. So before we even play a game yet, no panic. Hutchinson coming back, good team.
That's real.
You worried about the coordinators and all that. I have to tell my way you took a deep breath.
That is a lie.
Yellow.
I gotta go yellow. If you lose your defensive coordinator, if you lose your offensive coordinator, that means a lot. Especially if you lose a mind like Ben Johnson and a mind like Aaron Glenn. Also, how do you get better than the number 1 seed? It's just gonna be hard to do. So for that reason, I'm yellow. Hey, let's move on to the Minnesota Vikings. Last year, Sam Darnold had a resurgence, to say the least. 35 passing touchdowns. Now they're handing over the keys, Shady McCoy, to rookie J.J. McCarthy. I say rookie because he played no games last year. Panic level, Shady, for the Vikings.
I was giving you that one.
Quick, just because we got a rookie quarterback, right? I'm not overly panicking, but I am just a little worried what it looks like. The good thing for me is, I guess I get good hope is because I watched what you did with Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Sam ain't nothing to play around with. He wasn't that good before he got there, and he left as a decent quarterback. So if you could do that with Sam Darnold, right?
Yeah.
You know, you could do that with J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
You have to be a...
There.
I'm hella panicked about the Vikings. For me, I can't trust a team that is this good to a quarterback that hasn't played that much, not to mention a quarterback that hasn't played that much. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he was the 4th or 5th quarterback taken in his own draft class, behind Caleb Williams, behind Michael Penix, behind Jaden Daniels, behind Drake May. I think he was the 5th quarterback taken in his own class. So out of college, you were the 5th best at your position, and now we want you to be the 5th best in the entirety of the NFL because, in all honesty, that's probably what it's going to take to get the Vikings where they want to go. You can't be the 20th best quarterback in the league. This is a team with Super Bowl aspirations. For that reason, one more time, I'm panicked.
Yeah, we've all been in a situation, I'm assuming, in our careers to where we was worried about the quarterback. And we did not know how the quarterback was going to play. Whether it was the backup coming in, whether the starter got, whatever it was, and the quarterback coming in, and we don't know what we're going to get from him. With that, with that being said, they should be panicked. That's Kevin O'Connell sitting in his office right now. You don't know what the young boy gonna look like. You don't. Now you have an idea. Hey, I got Sam Darnold to do this. He can do this. But you don't know what he's gonna look like, and you don't even know if he's gonna stay healthy. He just got hurt.
Let's move on to the cross rival of the Green Bay Packers. James Jones,
Go Pack, go.
Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Shady McCoy, they added a speedster wide receiver in Matthew Golden, fastest player at the NFL Combine, to an already loaded wide receiver.
Where he go to school at?
Texas, you already know what it is. You already know what it is. Shady McCoy.
That's right.
Listen, man, I can't figure out the Packers. These guys are always hyped up. Oh, man, a lot of talent, a lot of potential. They might do this. They don't never do it. I watched them all last season. I get all this hype about the quarterback, about the running back, about the wide receivers. Everything you want in the offense, they have.
They do.
And then they play good teams. What do, James Jones?
I don't know this year.
Lose. So, listen, I am not super confident in the Packers. I got a lot of respect for them because they have a lot of talent. One of the best running backs in football over there with Josh Jacobs, right? But Jordan Love, talented quarterback, a lot of speed receivers, and what has that gotten you? Nothing. So I think you have talent. That's the first part. I think they're coached very, very well with McFleur. But, dog, I need to see some proof. See what I'm saying? We're no, stop. How can you go to green
My man.
when all they do is lose to good teams? Tell me
why.
that.
They return the most consistency for me. Matt LaFleur is a mind on offense, unlike the Lions. Ben Johnson's that mind on offense. So at least they have consistency offensively. When I think about the Packers and continuity between last season and this season, I think they have the most. Furthermore, the bar isn't as high for the Packers to me as it is for the Lions. The Lions have been knocking on the championship game door the last 2 years. For the Lions, if you don't go to the Super Bowl, it wasn't that great a season. Jordan Love went to playoff games. That's more than you've ever done. For the Vikings, if y'all don't go to a championship game, it's not that good of a season. But but Jordan Love went 2 playoff games. And you good. Win a playoff game is better than you did last year. So for me, if the Packers win 12, great season. If the Lions win 12,
Real quick.
that's a lower bar to me.
Okay, so this is more just 1 year thing. 2 years ago, they beat the Cowboys at home.
They did.
I said, yo, this young
Played
team
well
beat them.
against the
I said, you know what? They played well against the Niners, right? Other than some fluke stuff from Brock Purdy and Brady Ayuk.
Yep.
I said, man, they might figure out a way to be good the next couple of years. And then the next year came.
That was good. Playoff.
They took a small step back. They took a
Bro,
small
they
step
lost to
back last
every
year.
winning team they played against.
Yeah. Not every winning team.
How about
Most of them.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Thank you for being honest.
I'm
Why?
Because number one, the quarterback got to stay healthy.
Okay.
And that has been an up and down battle since he's took over the starting job. Number two, I don't have a lot of confidence coming off of last season, even though what we had, because we did not beat a lot of winning teams.
Yeah.
And we didn't play our best football against those winning teams. So for me, Jordan Love got to stay healthy. Jordan Love got to be at his best when we play them good teams, because we are going to play a lot of good teams, especially in our own division.
Yeah.
You know, and we got to find a way to win. We usually dominate the Lions and dominate those good teams, the Vikings and all that. And they had our number last year. So I need to see how they're going to look versus some good teams.
Lastly, the Chicago Bears. They only won 5 games last season, but remember, offensive lines got a lot better. Head coach Ben Johnson got a lot better. Caleb Williams, where do we stand on the Bears? Can we get this one out of here?
Yeah.
Can we collectively agree that this
No, he's not going to touch that.
Hold up.
He's not gonna touch that.
I hate people who break the rules. Come on, dog.
Okay, we're just going to rotate him.
Yeah,
Come on,
let's
man.
We're just going to rotate him. Yeah, we ready. There we go.
This is a tricky one because I don't know. You know what I mean? Yo, real quick, you ever been like a coach asks you a question and everybody's quiet? You be like, I don't know, coach. I don't know why I'm blocking this play. I don't know with this team.
Yeah.
You get a new coach. I think Ben Johnson's really, really good. Quarterback, I think he's good.
Yeah.
I know he's talented, but I think he's good. I don't know what to expect. I don't know, because they do everything you need as far as getting running backs, getting linemen, getting our receivers, getting the coach.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's right.
Yeah.
Everything Shady just
Oh, you
said.
don't know either?
I have no idea.
We don't know.
We hope, but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know, because we were saying the same thing last year.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams came into the best situation we've ever seen a rookie quarterback come in. DJ Moore, Roma Doomsday, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, good tight end and commit. What'd it do?
Yeah.
Nothing. Solid defense. They got all that again this year with a new head coach. I just don't know how it's going to look.
Don't know how it's going to look. Either way, it's going to be probably the most exciting division in all of football. Imagine going to Maui. Now imagine going to Maui for minicamp. Hey, that's what the Ravens are doing. Minicamp starts today. The Pads do, that's what the Rams are doing. Minicamp starts today as the Pads come on, at least the helmets do. Remember, they lost in the divisional round to the Eagles, but this offseason, Shady, you heard me.
I'm sorry.
But this offseason, they added 3-time All-Pro Devontae Adams. I'm curious of 2 things. One, what's the Rams' ceiling in y'all's mind this year? And also, are the Rams the biggest threat to the Eagles? Jay, I'll let you start this off.
On paper right now, I think they are. I think they have one of the better quarterbacks in the NFC. You got a great offensive mind and Sean McVay with a coach. And you add Devontae Adams with Puka Nacua. So I think right now on paper they have the best shot to stop them. But then again, I sit here nervous like we just did the emoji segment because my man did run for yards after yards after yards after yards. He's still running.
Still running.
You know what I mean? Hopefully they don't see him in Hawaii because he's still running. So defensively, they got to get better at stopping Saquon Barkley because they were a good defense. But I will say on paper right now, if I had to pick a team to stop them in the playoffs in the NFC, I would choose the Rams right now going into the season.
I don't like the odds, though. The fifth best, they're a good team. That defense.
Yeah, that is true.
One of my best friends, Aaron Donald, right? Before let me answer the question, I would say I got to pick somebody, right? Because I really want to say the Eagles. Like, we can only stop ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You know, you had to talk about you just looking down. Like, who's down there? Is that a Ram down there? Right? Because we the Eagles at the top. Is that a commander? Whatever that is. Is that a commander down there? You're just looking down to see what's down there. Right?
I hate it so much.
Is that a cowboy way down there?
Is that some cheese?
Is that some cheese? So it's hard to know who's the. So I'll just have to say, man, this to be safe. We're in the mountain. I guess the Rams. I guess.
I get it.
But on a serious note, you know, when Aaron Donald was retiring, I was like, man, you know, give it another shot. You know, I'm messing with him. You know, you leave $30 million on the table, so you must really want to retire. But he was saying, like, you know, we got a young team and this and that, and I look how well that young team played to only think that they'll get better next year. And then you help out the offense and you bring Devontae Adams. Oh, my God. With Puka, right? And then you got Williams in the backfield with Matthew Stafford, and then you talked about Sean McVay being so smart and so good and so efficient. So I would say if I had to pick a team in the NFC, it would be the Rams for me because they are really balanced. Yeah. And you're not going to be in the hard division because the Niners will not be the Niners of old. That's done. And then you got the Cardinals. I don't trust the Cardinals with that quarterback. Just me. And then Sam Darnold's a starter. Oh, my God. So they're going to be super safe in that division. But I think eventually you probably will have to face the Eagles. Now, you know how that went last year. Saquon had 600 yards in 2 games. They
didn't do that. They got to stop the run, but they still.
But I'm going to go with them.
I'll say the Rams as well. I wanted to pick against the Rams because I was like, that's too lazy an answer, but Shady's right, James is right. The quarterback play, he's legit. Kyron Williams doesn't get nearly enough credit.
He's nice.
He doesn't get nearly enough credit. That's, to me, maybe a top 7 running back in football right now and ascending. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, obviously they're both elite, plus Sean McVay, not talking enough about him. Then remember, the Rams defense, the last 6 games of the season, number 2 defense in all of football, including the playoffs. And you know that young defensive line is hungry. They're overly confident, which I love. They have a rational confidence. I don't know if you saw Jared Verse working out with Aaron Donald. I'm sure Shady probably saw it on social media. They have a rational confidence. Where I worry about the Rams, linebacking core, incredibly suspect. Secondary, incredibly suspect. I don't know if the secondary can hold up. I don't know if the linebacking core can hold up. I don't really love anybody in their back 7. The question for me, James, can they get Jair Alexander? Can they get Jalen Ramsey? Can they get one of those 2 DBs? I believe if they can get one of those 2 pieces at DB, then that might be enough. The Eagles are still too good, but then that might be enough for me to safely say it's the Rams. But the Rams back 7, there's just nobody there that you got to avoid, nobody there that scares you, nobody there that's a game changer, nobody there that's a difference maker. The reason Saquon ran for all those yards, the linebackers, I need you in the right gaps. I need you coming downhill. I need you being effective. I need you doing something. If Saquon can run for 200, you'll never win a game. You'll never win a game.
Twice.
You'll never win.
He ran for 200 twice. Let's get that straight.
But it's all about fast starts for them, too, though. I think offensively can help that out. If you can put some points up on the board with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua and run it well, you put yourself in position. But if you behind the 8 ball and you letting teams be able to run and pass, that's when this defense goes. You got to make some.
For whatever it's worth, I mean, they did play us the best in the playoffs.
There you go. Get us out of here.
I mean, get us out of here. We spanked on the
music, Colby.
We spanked on the Commanders.
Music, please.
We spanked on Green Bay.
The music louder, please.
I'm just saying, we spanked on everybody.